wide.
Hello everyone, I am TG and welcome back to the House of Sleaze. I am here to bring you the build of my girl, Alex motherfucking Wesker. So this is Instant Trap Alex. Obviously not the most unique build. Been out there for a while. I've been playing this way since launch. This is pretty much like my definitive way to play Alex. I've always loved it the most. Sometimes I play creatures, but you know, it's always fun to go back to the classics. This video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you guys this build. I'm going to go over it really quick because it is very common, but I'm going to show you guys a match I played using it. And rather than talk mostly about the match, what I did is actually talked about what the team could have done differently, how to beat a build like this. So, first of all, for Yataveo, go explosive. For Biohazard, amplify. And the reason I do those two things is because the very little infection that you do get off, you want it to count. That's what amplify is for. And Yataveo is a useless piece of shit. So I basically just drop him and explode him. And even that doesn't work sometimes. Now lastly, for Residents of Evil, you have to go for Mechanic. It's the most important thing. It won't work without that. And her exclusive cards, you can either do Virus Mine or Triple Landmine. I like Virus Mine just because it adds infection to this deck, and there's no other way to really get any infection. And lastly, go with Detonator Mod because again, nothing else really matters, and Infection Gun, way too slow. Now, when it comes to her equipment, EIS Cable 3, Inductor 3 and 2, and Lucas Special. Bing, bang, boom, you got it. That's going to make it so you drop traps, you can explode them right away, almost instantly, and you get a little bit of bioenergy back. One change to this is, if you're feeling confident, you could switch out EIS, and instead of that, use Leeching Explosives. That way you get a little more bioenergy back. That's completely up to you. Now, for the deck, again, nothing too crazy here. Every trap in the book. We got Airburst, Tracker, Lockdown, Shock, Landmine, High Explosive Landmine, and the Mighty Decoy. And then on top of that, I use Immobilizing Rounds. You could use the CO2 canister if you really wanted to, but I like the Immobilizing because it locks those bitches down. And then lastly, most importantly, is your mods. You need Red Queen mod to make this work, or else you're not going to get the instant explosion that you want. And of course, Efficiency mod traps is a no-brainer. That's going to reduce the cost of all of these beautiful traps by 1. So there's not much variation here that you can do. This is pretty much like the instant trap build. Like I said, it's been around forever. Very difficult to beat, especially in solo queue. It actually does really well against squads as well, but when you run into this thing in solo queue, unless you're running an anti-trap Valerie, you're far past fucked. So like I said, I'm going to show you guys the match that I played a little bit earlier, and what I'm going to do is kind of explain some of the things that the team could have done a little bit differently that would have helped them out, and some of the things that they did that were huge mistakes. And keep in mind, this team was a SWAT as well. So, enjoy. Oh, I thought I was going to have an easy day. I guess not. I swear, this game is nothing about goddamn teams anymore. Fucking stomp or be stomped. Well, I'm a stomp, motherfuckers. Alright, so, Instant Trap, as I'm sure many of you are aware, is not the hardest build to use. It's strong, it's pretty easy, you drop traps, you explode. Now, they have a Martin, so you might think that they're safe because they have a Martin, but that is unfortunately not true, because you can explode before Martin disarms, which means you can double trap. Now, the first mistake they made, in my opinion, is Tyrone bought a Kashima. Now, he probably did that because he thought maybe I was going to go infectious creatures, so that's not really the worst mistake, but you know, he's gonna regret that later on. And what he's not doing is looking at the floor. Where these guys are gonna get caught up is, oh, excuse me, ma'am, is they don't keep moving. So as you can see, they're taking shots at my cameras when they really shouldn't be. That is a way to counter Trap Alex, but when you're doing that, you have to have like maximum coordination, because if you do it without coordination, meaning if someone's on the camera and other people are just running around and not attacking the camera in unison, you're going to give Alex a chance to drop the trap, and as soon as she drops the trap, that happens. And you also might think that this Martin isn't being the smartest player because he's not really disarming any traps, but if you've ever played a Martin against this build, you have to realize that your disarming is basically useless. You almost never want to stop and disarm a trap because it just leaves you open to get hit by another trap.
This route would be too easy.
So the one thing that this team is doing pretty well is they're sticking together. However, that being said, on the other hand, they're sticking together too much. What I mean by that is they are grouped up. You do want to move it in a unit because you do need to take on the cameras. However, if you're sticking close together, something like that's going to happen.
Very good.
Where you're going to get more than one person caught in an explosion. What this build is it's not actually about downing survivors. It's about stealing time. So the one thing you can do to stop stealing time is to be the only one who's hit by a specific trap. So if you're all grouped up, you're gonna, instead of losing 5 seconds, you're gonna lose 10 or 15, or God forbid 20.
Disappointment. This could be the most disappointing test.
See, now this right here, this is what you don't want to do. Is let old Valerie run in by herself. Because now she's not getting out of this room. There, gooey gum drops.
Do not test my
Now,
patience.
lucky for her, I'm actually running quite low on my bioenergy, so
How did it take
I guess she
you
will
so
get out of that
long
room.
to get that?
This Tyrone, not learning. Not learning. He's still got his Kashima equipped, as opposed to just using his 2x4 to at least try to stop a trap. It won't really work, but it's better than using his Kashima. And he's not looking at the ground, he's panicking. And what happens whenever you panic against this is you get hit by every single trap Alex has to offer. You need to be looking at the ground.
Like this? Now that you're warmed up, let's really test you.
So what really shines about this build is anytime the survivors, like I said, are grouped up. So in this case, they're grouped up at the exit because they need to leave, right? You drop a trap down at the exit, it will negate them from leaving. And as you see, only Tyrone got the time for making it to the exit. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's not an easy build to go against. And it's not a fun build to go against most of the time unless you're in a well-prepared squad with an anti-trap Valerie and a January that knows what she's doing. But it is very beatable. Even in solo queue. Unless you have, you know, little babies on your team. Level 1s to 20, you know, who honestly don't know what they're doing. If you have even a hint of coordination, you can really shut Alex down. All you need to do is keep her cameras down. See, right there. That was perfect what they did. There was no way I could get that trap against them at all. So that's basically what you gotta do. Now, that being said, it is difficult to do that in a room where there's 2 cameras. But if you have a January, it's pretty much a non-issue.
But not for you.
Unfortunately for this team, they were not as coordinated on cameras as they should have been. So guys, I hope this video was a little bit helpful. I know it's not as good as if it was from the survivor's point of view, but I hope it helped just a little bit. And as always, I'm TG. If you like what you saw, you know what to do. If not, meh. Keep it sleazy.
Shall we run another test?